Gorgeous ones. Hey, good afternoon. I hope you all are having a fabulous, productive day. It is Friday, and for me, it's just this evening begins the day of the time of rest for us as a family. And I'm hoping that you all are tuning in to your truth and committed to bringing forth your light into this world. I just got off the phone with someone a little while ago, and we were talking about possibly collaborating together and working together. And I could not believe how she was selling herself short, so short when it comes to her money. And the thing about it is, you know, we women have this way of saying no to ourselves when it really is a yes, and saying yes to situations when our truth really is a no. And I am convinced that the only way that we're going to see the shifts that's going to take place in the world is if we believe and we agree to become uncompromising in who we are. There has never been a time before than the time that we are in right now, where on a global level, people are ready, willing, and praying for God's light, God's love to be in the world. This is unprecedented. And I think the only way that that's going to take place on a global level is if we commit to being authentic in who we are and being uncompromising in what we believe. Ladies, we got to take a stand. We got to believe in something. We got to have a vision for something. So I just want to share with you all that, listen, let's talk about money, for example. I spoke about this yesterday, but let's talk about this because this keeps coming up and it's something that I'm going to talk about. We can't be afraid of it. I have been in situations with men where I was the only woman in the room. Remember now, my background is engineering, right? So I've got an engineering degree. I worked as an engineer for many years as a project manager, then department manager and consultant. So I think in systems, I think in processes. My mind works like that. But I also think in healing as well. That's what I've developed in spirituality. But when I was working as an engineer, I was always one of few, or in most cases, the only woman in the room. And I'm going to tell you this, ladies, whether I was sitting around a room full of engineers or whether I was sitting around a room full of C-level CFO people, or whether I was sitting in a room full of entrepreneurs as I was building my businesses, I can tell you the men unanimously have no problem talking about money. But we do. It feels icky. It feels wrong. There's so much shame around it. And I'm telling you, ladies, if you really want to make a difference in the world, you've got to own the fact that you need money. We just have to own it. And the thing is, I honestly believe sincerely that because there's such a shift in the world and there's people who are longing for the things that we do, I honestly believe that once we get to a point where we recognize that money is energy, money is a tool, money is something to help facilitate our God-given gifts to help bring it to the marketplace, we know that, we take ownership of that, and we embrace that. I think when we get to that point, we can become more uncompromising. We can become authentic to ourselves. There was so long where I had so much faith in my ability to earn money as an engineer, as a worker person, right? Like as in my career, I could earn the money. Hey, Denise, how you doing? Hey, Denise. Hey, Mary, nice to see you. There was a season in my life where I was so confident in my ability to earn money because I never had a problem. Like I always had a job. I could always go out and do things and get hired and, I'm likable, things like that. But things shifted for me when I decided to become an entrepreneur and not sell products, but sell my services. Okay, so let's talk about that because then if you really want to affect change in the world, I honestly believe that to do this on a global level, it would take the uncompromising, authentic woman to do that. The woman who is in a business that she loves, that is glove fitted for her, the woman who earns money in a way that feels good, that feels light, it feels right, and a woman who manages her energy. This is what I think it will take, because anything outside of that is mind. So when I was working as an engineer, when I was working in corporate, when I was working as a manager, I was grinding. Here's why I was grinding. I was grinding because I didn't enjoy it. Not the work itself. I like it. It didn't light me up. It's not me. And this is what we do. I was so inauthentic to myself that I lived in a compromised state of being for multiple years, 20 years, 20 years. And what did I accomplish in those 20 years from the standpoint of feeling a sense of fulfillment? Not much. I made a lot of money, but from a standpoint of impacting in a way that feels good, in a way that feels right, in a way that nourishes me, in a way that uplifts me, in a way that allows my skin to radiate and glow and feel beautiful. I wasn't doing that. What I was doing was wearing my out, blowing my adrenal glands, wearing out my digestive system. That's what ended up happening to me. And I'm telling you, ladies, if this is you, if this is how you're showing up in the world, if you're constantly doing things that's against how you are made, you are killing yourself you are dying a slow death. I don't mean to be harsh. I am so serious about the season we're in right now. I am so serious. I don't mean to be harsh, but this is something, the reality is somebody's got to respond to what's taking place in the world right now. I mean, you've got people who are on their knees praying for how to lose weight. They're praying because they're going to have some kind of surgery because of some kind of medical condition that you possibly have the answer to, or they're praying because they need to make more money and you probably have the answer to that. Everyone here in this group are leaders. Everyone here in this group is meant to do something more than what they're doing already. But you got to say yes to yourself. You've got to be okay with making money doing what you're great at. And you got to be uncompromising about it. That's what's going to take. You know, when I realized that God was calling me to lead leaders, the realization didn't happen right away. Okay? It happened over time. It was a series of events. And that's why I believe that there's no wrong thing that can happen to us. In other words, every experience, every mishap, every heartbreak, every trauma, all of it comes together and it creates the lessons that we need so that we can go off into the world and go be great. We don't necessarily recognize it in the moment because it hurts or it's uncomfortable or it's not what we necessarily wanted. But I look back on my life and like everything that I have gone through, my daughter, you know, being diagnosed with autism, my husband and I, our marriage on life support, you know, not being able to get the jobs I wanted in the past, business failures, you know, not having a great relationship with my mother, my dad dying 15 years ago, like everything is weaving together to make me the person that I am today, to help me, to equip me with the learning, the lessons, the tools that I need to navigate so that I can go off and share. And you guys have the exact same thing, the exact same thing. We are all teachers and we're all students. It just depends on the situation and how we look at it. So here's the thing. In order for us to move forward and truly lead the way God's calling us to lead, we must be okay with stepping into who we are authentically. Like we have to be okay to own our stuff. We got to be okay to own the stuff that's great about us and own the shadows too. We have to, because and you'll see those shadows when people start showing up in your life. Like, for example, for those of you that are already in your business, if you constantly are attracting clients that are give a hard time, that's because they are a mirror to you, right? They're a mirror for you, and they're showing you areas in your life that you can improve. That was a very hard tablet for me to swallow when I first had to swallow it, but it's true. And so God is always facilitating a way for us to recognize where we can come up higher, He's always facilitating a way for us to grow, always facilitating a way for us to become more, to grow, to expand, to become more than where we are so that we can affect change throughout the world. So the key is, do you want to tune into those lessons? Are you truly ready? The only way that we're going to affect change on a global level is if we start personally. If each of us commit to starting personally. So things that are happening in your life right now, if there's anything that's negative happening in your life right now, I'm going to invite you to shift your perspective. Because here's the thing about miracles, right? The miracles are inherent within the problem. If you see a problem, if you just shift your perspective slightly, that's the miracle. That's the solution. That's what you're needing. And you'll always have the solution within the problem. Always, 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 always. That comes from A Course in Miracles. If there is a problem, there's a solution there too. The only way that you're going to get that solution is if you allow yourself to get a shift in perspective and expand the way you think and expand the way you are showing up in the world. You'll begin to see it differently. So here's how you expand. Here's how you become that uncompromising, authentic woman so that you can rise up in the world and affect change. Are you ready? It's a simple shift, but it's powerful. Change your circle. Align yourself with people who are doing what you want to do, who are being who you want to be, who are doing what you want to do, and who have what you want to have. If you change your circle, you change the vibration that you're functioning around. And what happens is that starts to shift you. I had a conversation with a lady today. She happens to be in India. I helped her feed a village, the Embu village in Kenya. This is one of the things that I've always wanted to do in giving back. These people are affected by the plague of the locust. So the locust is eating like all the grains and all the vegetation. And so farmers have been displaced. They don't have any income and they don't have food. So myself and some people, we're sending them money every week and funding them so that they can get food. But I spoke to the leader, of the Embu community today, and I basically said to her, listen, we don't have a problem with helping you, but at some point you have to help yourself. In other words, you've got to be able to create a way to get yourself out of this situation. Right? Like if that path has dried up, you've got to create a way to get yourself out. And since you're the leader, you got to get yourself out first so that you can go back and get your people. And so I'm talking with her, coaching her, and helping her to see things differently, because if she's just constantly having her hand out, if that's the only way they feel that they're going to be able to move forward, then they're never going to be equipped to move forward. So my goal is to equip her as the leader to move forward so that she can then go back and affect change in the entire community. So she was grateful for the opportunity to learn more about what she can do. So I made it very clear to her, we're going to help you, but this is not going to go on forever. We're not going to do that. Well, we are going to help you. We are going to equip you so that you can move forward and get your people out. And this is what it's going to take, because that was authentic to me. There was no way I was going to go and petition people to help me support a community of people who didn't want to help themselves. Absolutely, I won't do it. So I was being authentic to who I am, but at the same time, I was teaching her and sharing with her what she can do to improve her situation. So I got her going off. I got her going off to create a way to get sponsorship to come to the United States by way of speaking. I was telling her how to go market herself and all that. So I was talking with her and helping her to see what was possible for her. But you can do the exact same thing for other people, but also for yourselves. So if this is the season, listen, it's 3:00 on a Friday afternoon, people are home. What is authentic to you right now where you can go and promote what you do? Promote your services, whatever they are. What can you do today, right now at 3:10 Central? What can you go do? Think about it for a second. What will feel good? What can you go do that will feel good to you where you're actually helping other people? So because for me, it felt fantastic to help her, but it also felt fantastic for me not to be helping someone who doesn't want to help themselves. So staying authentic to yourself is going to be how you're going to be able to elevate and help a ton of people. This is where the global change is going to take place, ladies. Within us. It starts with us. So that's my question. That's my question today afternoon. What is it that you can go do right now? Okay, we're done with this live video in less than 30 seconds. What can you go do in 30 seconds that can get you moving forward, that can help someone else, that's authentic to you, in which you are sharing what it is that you do? Take a moment, Mary, Denise, and whoever else is there. Take a moment, type it in the chat box. What can you go do right now? I'll wait. Because it's going to take the uncompromising woman to go do this. So what can you go do? What can you go do, ladies? I'll wait. Mary, I'll wait. Denise, what could you go do? Because here's the thing. We can't be ashamed. We cannot be ashamed of the greatness that's in us. It's the greatness. It's the uniqueness. It's that God has given us that sets us apart. For example, I told you all, I was trained in structures and systems. That's how my mind works. I hated it. But I have a healing presence. I ask deep questions. I have a high BS meter. These are things that God gave me. So my challenge was putting it all together, right? Putting it all together. And that combination plus my personality makes it unique. This is just me. This is my personality. This is my gifting. This is what I offer the world. So what is it that you all offer? What tell me, what can you guys go do? What can you go do? Denise, no compromise. What can you go do, hon? If you're still there, Mary, if you're still there, what can you go do? Because now's the time, ladies. This is unprecedented. This season that we're in is unprecedented. The fact that everyone is home, the fact that people are concerned about their money and their savings and their health and well-being and the elderly. I mean, people are praying, ladies. People are looking for God's hands in the world. People are hungry for it. So what can you possibly go do? Think about that. Because as leaders, are you going to be sitting at home scrolling on Facebook too, or are you going to be helping people? Talk to me. Answering. You're there. All right. So here, I'm gonna let you all go and think about that for a second. Think about it for a minute, because you got to get to a place where you're not compromising anymore. You got to get to a place where your yes is yes and your no is no. And you got to get to a place where you are being yourself and you're okay with it. That's called authentic. You just got to be okay with it. Like this right here, this is me. And I love it. You got to be okay with that, ladies. So I'm going to leave that with you. Put in the chat box, put in the comments, what is it that you can go do right now in which you share your gifts and talents that feels good to you and blesses other people as well. I'm going to leave you all with that, and I will see you all tomorrow. Like I said, when the sun goes down, that's when the Connors celebrate their Sabbath, and that's our quiet time, our dedicated family time and time of worship. And so I don't think I'm going to come back to you all live before then, but definitely over the weekend. But I would love to share in the group. This is our sacred space, ladies. Listen, we're not compromising here. Share with us, what is it that you can go do right now that is authentic to you, that feels good, that feels right, is lights you up, and it blesses other people. And please take into consideration your money as well. Okay? All right? All right, now I'm going to go. If you all want to chat with me and get on my schedule so we could chat some more as to how I can support you, let me know. And I will go ahead and put the link here. All right, ladies, any comments? You guys are quiet today. All right, ladies, God bless you. And I will talk with you again. Have a good one.